Are you serious? All right, let's ask Mike from around the world in part 3 here. What is the source? I ask him, what is the source behind the 5 waves of energy? Because I realize that the Bible says that the heavens will be shaken. So what is the source? As it says that they're in Luke chapter 21. What is the source behind the 5 waves? You've shared with us numerous times that there's 5 waves of energy. The first one's a ripple. It's a disturbance in the heavens. It's what the scripture says. Jesus said it in Luke chapter 21 when he said that for the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. We know that Paul wrote about it in Hebrews 12 and he said, I will shake both the earth and the heavens, and everything else that doesn't remain will be shaken loose, basically. I take that spiritually. So we definitely, you said there'd be extreme straight line winds. We've had them. You said there would be large hail. We had hail almost bring down a plane last Friday. You said that there would be uptick in volcanism. We're on pace to break the record for volcanic eruptions in a year. You said there'd be more earthquakes. We're on pace to break the record for over 6.0 earthquakes in a year. All of the things you said would, if we see these things increasing, then we know that this first ripple was even stronger than we thought. Mike, are we going to feel anything in the next 6 days as this thing comes ashore, basically?
You know what, Pastor? It's very possible, and here's the way it's going to work. When it's going to enter, the effect of that wave is going to enter the solar system on the 17th. In the 17th, they're going to be tracking, it's very strange how they have to track this because it's not actually something a person can, well, let's just call it a band, or let's just call it a tiny wave. And so it will make its way from the outer band of our solar system inwardly. As it comes inwardly, the small one, the effects of what it's having on the other planets, the probes, so on and so forth, will be measured. When it hits Ceres, they're going to measure the certain things about this small ripple coming through. One of the cautions that I gave watching volcanic activity was an indicator that the forces behind this thing are a little more than what was once thought. And as it gets closer, it's more compact. We've been feeling certain effects from the small ripple already, but it's just the energy. And as the core or the body of this thing passes us, now remember it's tiny. As it passes us, it could literally be, something pretty major or nothing at all. No one still knows, and the only way to find out if it's going to have an effect on Earth was to watch volcanic activity. Because volcanic activity is number one, it's normally controlled by or yielded by the core of the Earth. So what's happening inside the Earth just about always reveals itself in the form of volcanism.
Okay.
And so if the energy levels inside the Earth and the activity inside the Earth are in fact increasing, well then volcanism will begin to rise, and this is what we've seen. Okay. So again, I certainly have no clue of what will happen when this thing comes through. It could be a very passive event, or it could be damaging. And right. It's just, but this small ripple, no one knows until it actually goes all the way through.
All right, so I'm getting what I'm hearing you say is this is a small ripple, just the energy wave of this thing that's going to pass. Now, and it's going to be, and there's 5 of these waves coming. Now, you said, but when the body of this core of this thing, when it passes and it hits, it hits Ceres. Now, when you talk about a body of this core, it says, okay, you're saying we're now feeling the wave of it, the disturbance from it, but we're not feeling it. And I'm not going to ask you what is it, but I'm going to ask you this. Is the source of this energy waves a body, a planet, a mass, a comet, a tangible, solid something, rock? Is it something that's causing the waves?
Pastor, from my knowledge, the source of these waves is massive. It's very massive.
Solid?
It could be
Is it
anything from
solid?
it's massive, whatever it is. It's massive. And when I say massive, meaning it's very heavy. It's very heavy.
Okay.
And it has a lot of activity based on the measurements they've taken already of the energy it's emitting. So it is affecting our solar system. I can say this: the central portion of where these things did emit themselves from is actually affecting everything. It's affecting everything. And so, but that's the source. This small ripple is followed by some more waves.
Right.
Now, let's do it this way. This ripple would be your pinky finger, correct?
Okay.
That would be the intensity of it, right?
Okay.
Your pinky finger. Or let's just say you dropping a pencil. Okay. The next wave that comes through would be the equivalent of dropping Texas.
What? What?
So this band
whoa.
is very, 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 very tiny. This band is tiny, and it's very important that we find out the effects of this tiny.
Can we find out more
behind it?
Can we find out more at the Texas explosion? Will we be able to find out a little more about? I mean, look, the first wave is equivalent to this. The next wave is the size equivalent to dropping Texas. I mean, do you understand the difference? The difference in that is incredibly insane. It's insanity. So what I'm asking is, in the Texas explosion, we will have had the first ripple. The next wave is coming. Mike, how much time do we have before the second wave comes?
Well, we'll find out more. You know what? We'll find out more in Texas because they're actually getting speed and everything else from this.
Okay,
and
so by the time
put together I want to do a slideshow with the mathematics and physics, so everybody who understands physics, they can actually look at this. And they can go back and look at the numbers themselves and see exactly what I'm talking about. It's very difficult to explain without.
I understand. So let me ask you this. On September 12th, down in Dallas, Texas, will you be at that position? Will you be in position there to give us some more explanation of what we're dealing with here?
Yeah, I certainly can. And it makes it very important for observation of this first one, because again, this is. Our universe is essentially a big, you can think of it as a bunch of floating electronic components and so forth and so on. But this to understand this first ripple coming through is, that will give everybody a clue on what's coming behind it.
So Mike from around the world, who will be speaking at my Texas Explosion Prophecy Conference at the K. Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center on September the 12th. Mike's the first speaker, so you want to be there. Mike from around the world will walk on the stage for the first time, reveal who he is, give you his real name, his qualifications, and bring forth some vital information as it relates to the 5 waves of energy. Now, where's this at? It's at the Texas Explosion. Are you serious? You do not want to miss it. It is September 12th, Saturday, September 12th, the Texas Explosion at the K. Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center. Doors open at 9 a.m. Conference begins at 10 a.m. Kevin Wilson Band will actually begin at 9:30 with some country gospel music. And then at 10 a.m. we will begin the conference. And I will introduce to you Mike from around the world, and he will come to the platform at 10:05 a.m. September 12th, 2015 at the Texas Explosion Bible Prophecy Conference. And you just heard him say, he will reveal for us in a PowerPoint presentation all the information as it relates to the source behind the 5 waves of energy. And what does this all mean? Now, we will all hear him for the first time. Also in this conference, my wife Heidi will be speaking as well. And Pastor Daryl Myatt from Keller, Texas will also be speaking in this conference, as well as myself. I'll be speaking in the afternoon session. So, also, Pastor Scott from Eugene, Oregon will be doing some praise and worship. And Mike Fletcher from Indiana will also be singing. It will be a power-packed day. We already have 300, as I'm doing this video, 365 people have already registered, pre-registered. I'm going to put the link below. Go there and register. Now, we will not be broadcasting it live because the cost is extraordinary. I'm not going to pay it. Instead, we will record the entire day and make a DVD series available for you. So if you want to be here live, you need to come to Dallas, Texas. Start making your pre-register now. All right? Go ahead and pre-register and I'll put the link below. Go to the Texas Explosion. It's a free conference. Go ahead and get your seats reserved. As I said, 365 people have already done it. There's 31 days. We're actually 31 days away from the Texas Explosion. You don't want to miss it. I'm going to have a powerful message that in the evening session, the late afternoon evening session, which I believe will change your life. You don't want to miss it. The Texas Explosion coming up September 12th. I'll be with, I'll tell you more about September 19th, that I'll be with Reverend T.D. Hale in Lansing, Michigan, all day in a conference. I'll also be preaching September 20th in Dowagiac, Michigan on a Sunday morning at a Liberty Chapel church. And then the next weekend, September 27, 28, 29, 30th, I'll be preaching 4 nights, the Blood Moon Revival in Hyman, Pennsylvania. You don't want to miss that either. So we'll give you all that information. Come to our show today live. Get all this information. Do not miss the Texas Explosion. Are you serious? Give your life to Jesus Christ. He's coming soon. We may not even make it to September 12th. Folks, this is a September to remember.